Welcome to the Degenerate Nation podcast. Don't change the station. It's the Degenerate Nation with a huge episode. Huge. We have a real guest, a real human being.
Huge and girthy.
One. Alice Vaughn is here.
Woo!
I can't believe it. It's amazing.
She can't either.
You guys are building me up. This is not going to end well.
No, it never does.
You always disappoint.
To end the show, I just go by or I just click off. I never no outro, but maybe we'll do an outro for you. At your request, 4 minutes in, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean we're really gonna step up the quality here. We've always been quantity over quality, which makes sense. This is our 100th day in a row of recording a podcast.
99th episode, 98th day, yeah.
Oh, well, we should have had her tomorrow then. It could have been an extra special quarantine blowout.
It's gonna be a quarantine birthday cast. Sad birthday.
Yeah. So first, thank you for coming on. This is I don't know why.
Thanks for having me.
This is great. We've been for months now saying someone, please email us. You know how many emails we've gotten? One from you. One email.
Yeah, you're the special one.
Anyone who's listening, just come on.
And I haven't even listened, so that's bad.
Yeah, it is. Well, they don't know English. They just listen.
On the program now.
Cambodia, they hear noise. The Cambodians hearing noise. The Nigerians all over the place. I don't know how to break through. I need to learn all these languages. It's multiple languages. I'm stupid. I'll never get it.
No, you never will.
One day you'll learn, whatever they speak in
Namibian.
Before the show, I can't say it now. They don't exist. If I can't pronounce it, they don't exist. Nope. Okay, that's the American way.
Yeah. And they're not going to be allowed to go to American schools online.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
That's
the
a
guy
bummer.
said, what's his name? Cuccinelli? Cucci-something?
Cucci-Buccia?
If the school's not open, they got no need to be here. Kick them out. They can come back later.
Come back later. Oh, yeah, everyone wants to come back later when you tell them like that. That's
yeah,
great.
Although I don't know if they can actually send them home because no one's allowing Americans back into their country. Imagine that.
It's going to be like a really sad version of the movie The Terminal. They're just going to be fucking stuck in the ether. No Tom Hanks. This is some sad Namibians. It's great.
They're just stuck in an airport in JFK specifically. They actually never even left the States.
Oh my God, those poor bastards.
Actually, no, I take that back. What would be worse is if they were stuck in Newark, New Jersey.
Yes.
Oh, that's already a horror movie waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, it'd be the worst. So you have, I'm going to call it a very popular, just based off comparing it to ours, a very popular podcast. Two Girls, One Mic, where you talk about lots of things, but reviewing porn for the plot and other just issues, topics, subjects of the day with guests.
Yeah. Real
done
guests.
Things. Pretty impressive.
It's a thing. It happens.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard about it, I'm like, okay. And I really wanted to ask, what did you fail at before becoming a podcaster?
Oh, man. That's a great question because I rarely ever fail, I feel like. I'm one of those people that just stupidly excels at everything.
Nice. What is that
so,
like?
I don't know. That's not evidenced by being on this program. It seems like you've sunken, you've lowered your standards to join.
Yeah.
We just talked about
I failed at social skills. I guess that's what it was.
There you go. I continue to be somebody's bottom.
What?
I continue to be somebody's bottom point. You're like...
I thought you were just saying I continue to be someone's bottom. I mean...
Yeah, I left that part out. No.
Wouldn't be the first time I'm a top.
Yeah, bottom.
I mean, you're going to have to be because I don't know... Before we get too far down the road, he is impotent. So if there's anything that you're thinking now, just get that thought out of your head. It's not going to happen for you.
What? My wall has broken down.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. It's open.
There's no chance.
It's just like bloop,
I mean, you could top him though. Like,
bloop.
You know, he's open to that sort of thing. Yesterday we had our number one super fan who's become a co-host of the program, Wendy,
MVP.
and you were talking about sounding yesterday, and I think Andy's open to the idea of sounding. I don't get the appeal. I don't know if you've talked about that or covered sounding much. You know, sounding?
Sounding.
Oh. We need sound effects.
Sounding's where guys put things in their pee holes.
To stretch it out.
That's the name?
Yeah.
That's the name, yeah, sounding.
It's not named after one guy or something. That would be funny, though.
Did you confirm on Urban Dictionary?
Yeah.
I'll do it right now. I'll double check.
Bing it. We only use
positive
Bing
it's
here
called
at this
sounding.
program, which is why we don't learn anything.
You see, I try to do my best when it comes to things like learning about like figging and shrimping,
What?
but I didn't know about sounding.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very popular in certain communities.
Yeah, sounding is the act of inserting a metal rod into your urethra. Sounding tubes are meant to be used medically, but some people figured out that they experience sexual pleasure from the act. There
Or
you
from
go.
peeing, in my case.
You know what? I learned something new every day.
Yeah,
that I was aware of about sticking the urethra into a penis.
We
but-
like to put screws and washers in instead. In my community, in my sounding community. I'm also a slider. I do a lot of things. So your fetish talk really spoke to me, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got through to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess this is, you know what, I always thought I would never become a teacher, but somehow I still did.
Yep.
Well, like, you're like the younger version of, what's the doctor, she'd have that show on TV where she'd talk about sex toys, Dr. Ruth.
Dr.
Is that her name?
Ruth.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
her name?
I thought she was just always born like an old lady.
Yeah,
She's
she was
just
never young.
existed like that.
Well, her name is Ruth, so that's accurate.
Yeah,
no
the Ruth
young
is an
Ruth.
old name.
There's no young Esthers.
No.
No, none.
It's like, for example, like there's no Karens of our generation, but we all
No.
know Kaylee's the new Karen,
Kaylee? Yeah.
right?
Except Kaylee Cuoco, though, right?
I don't know.
She could be
I mean,
a
we
Karen.
don't know
She
her.
could be a Kaylee.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't know her. She could be. I don't know. She seems nice on TV.
We have a
But so
cousin
did Bill
Karen.
Cosby,
I have a
and
cousin
that wasn't real. Just for our listeners, I'm not comparing Kaylee Coco Como to Bill Cosby.
Kaylee
No, you
Cuomo.
are.
Yeah.
Yet, innocent until proven guilty. Her time's coming.
I mean,
She's gonna get canceled like everyone else.
She did rush into that one marriage with the hockey player, so I mean,
wouldn't
maybe,
you,
know,
though? It's
there
a-
was
it's
some
a
Jello
hockey
involved,
player.
some spiked Jello.
Yeah. She spiked his Jello, and he's like, "I'll do it."
Just rush to the altar.
Yeah, Russian to the altar. Russian to the altar.
Speaking of Wendy, before we get too far off subject, she did have a specific question
Yes.
about porn for you, the porn expert. So she told us the other morning she was watching some softcore porn. She says she's a morning person, so that's what she likes to do. And although there was no penetration, the guy was from behind and just squeezed the woman's breast super hard, and it looked like it was just going to explode silicone everywhere. And her question to that was, why? So I don't know if you have an answer why softcore seems so rough these days, but that's the question that Wendy had for you.
That's what's on her mind.
You know, I don't watch a lot of softcore.
I didn't
I
think
mean,
you
I
would.
guess that's what Netflix is for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, everybody has their own niche. I'm sure you could find softcore porn.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, Wendy seems to be into some weird, wild stuff from what she talks about.
I was shocked when she mentioned the words soft and core together. Honestly.
Yeah, the morning part threw me off. She's like, yesterday morning, like, was she drinking coffee? Like, her morning coffee
Yeah.
and softcore porn?
You're zooting up and punching your rainbow like to some softcore Cinemax. That's a great
Sometimes
morning.
you're just efficient in the morning. I can relate, Wendy. I'm there.
There you go, Wendy. You're not alone.
There's other women who masturbate.
In the morning to softcore porn. Lot of
Maybe not
kissing.
popcorn specifically.
Don't lock me in with Wendy, please.
So, how far down the rabbit hole of like internet porn have you gone? Have you gotten to the end yet?
Oh man,
two unicorns fucking.
It's pretty far. Like, let me put it this way. People will tell me, or they'll say, have you seen this clip? And I saw it like 6 months ago.
Oh my God.
Or they'll say, have you seen this clip? And I know, like, the cast, the crew, like, I know how they got craft services involved. I know who wrote the script.
Nice.
I know the voiceover actors who subbed in for the porn actors who couldn't read the script, so instead they brought someone on set to read the part where she said, "My mom's trainer comes over every Tuesday."
They got illiterate people doing porn?
Well, it's not illiterate, just some of them can't read.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can all relate. Like, the president can relate, you know?
Yeah,
it's hard.
he doesn't need to. He got as far as he did without reading. That's pretty impressive. Him and Floyd Merriweather are just role models.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in porn, if the dick fits, you know, just roll with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't, and something.
Yeah, you gotta just keep at it. Long shoots those days.
Just saying that the anal cavity is just absurdly stretchy.
That's crazy. God works in mysterious ways.
So, why is everything in German porn so wet? Why is everything, there's a tarp down, everyone's glistening, sweating, everything's the Scheisse.
Scheisse.
Why? Why is everything so wet?
That's a great question. I know that quite a bit of porn is shot in Czechoslovakia. I don't know about German porn specifically. I mean, Germans do have, there's something about like losing the World War II that, you know, turns you on to some really fucking weird shit.
Yes.
You know, look at the Japanese, look at the Germans. I'm sure German dungeon porn is a thing. Actually, I feel like I've seen some like German... No, wait, I was going to say, the pterodactyl porn that Yvette and I watched was definitely German.
You watched pterodactyl porn? Like the screeching and everything?
Oh, yeah, and there was a puppet involved, a hand puppet.
Oh, did the hand puppet go up a vagina or a butthole?
No, it was just like in the corner. It appeared randomly. It was great.
Whoa, that's awesome.
It was just there to watch?
Kind of. It was a little voyeuristic.
Perfect.
Was it like a well-made puppet?
No, but I have seen well-made puppets in porn.
I mean, there's not a lot of puppet work. If, like, the Dark Crystal documentary taught me anything, like, all those people were just available. Like, yeah, we made the original 34 years later. We're ready to come back. We were not busy. So, I mean, they gotta get some side work somewhere.
I want to start writing foreign porn scripts. Like, is that a lucrative market?
You know, I don't know about the foreign porn scripts, but definitely here at home, people will take up porn scripts. I mean, let me put it this way. I feel like every porn actor and actress is so sick of stepcess that if you throw a script that doesn't involve banging their stepbro, they'll try it out.
That really started to, like, not turn me off. I'm not a prude, but, like, I just was, like, annoyed by it. It was like, it's front page, and I was so... I haven't even watched it in, like, forever, but, like... because I'm impotent, yes. Because I'm impotent. And I just would like only watch the first page, like look at the first page and scroll down just a little bit and be like, oh, this is good enough, you know? And then, but it was like, oh, stepcess, as you said. It's just all over the place. And I was like, isn't there anything else?
Well, the reason, do you guys know why that happened?
No.
I think I learned from your podcast recently.
What?
But our guests, our viewers, listeners haven't, so enlighten us.
Mr. Danger.
Yes.
I'm impressed. You're really living up to your name. But it basically comes down to kind of analytics, and there was this whole taboo phase at one point where some director was like, oh my god, this movie Taboo from like the 70s, 80s was amazing. We need to bring it back. And they basically put out this content, and it hit off so well that basically they just started making more of it. And it's kind of like going to the supermarket where if hypothetically the supermarket just has Captain Crunch, you're going to buy Captain Crunch, and then you're going to be like, holy shit, people are buying Captain Crunch. So they just stock more of Captain Crunch, and then the only fucking thing is Captain Crunch. And you're like, I really want something else other than Captain Crunch, but that's the only goddamn thing they have.
Is there an Asian version of Captain Crunch, perhaps?
I mean, it's all censored, so it's all pixelated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have hentai. That's their thing.
Yeah.
They just have tentacle porn. That's their thing. Yeah,
all right,
just
Cambodia.
Godzilla
I'm sorry
and
you can't watch the
octopus
stepsis
monster.
porn. You have to stick with hentai.
We gotta get the creator of hentai on our show. I emailed him, but he was like 17 hours ahead, and my co-host is 3 hours behind me, and I'm on the East Coast.
Are
so
they
it's
in
gonna be
LA?
almost impossible to
Or
figure out.
San
Yeah,
Francisco?
she's in LA.
Okay, cool. Nice. Interesting town.
You're in New
Canada.
York, right?
Yeah, I like New York. It's I'm very much a city person.
Nice. Did you grow up there?
I'm very.
No, I grew up in Jersey, unfortunately.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
Womp, womp, womp. That's how you knew to make that Newark joke that we were talking about.
Where are you guys, by the way?
Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in LA for a while, a Hollywood minute, so like 2 years.
Yeah, suburbs
cool.
of DC.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Not
Nice.
like red Virginia, more like purple, blue Virginia.
Purple, blue Virginia,
You guys have to be
Makes it
really clear and specific about that.
yeah. Yeah, like, oh shit, well, I'm signing off.
Yeah, it's not Trump country, but like 40 miles away it is. So,
Yeah.
which is, everyone has their right to be opinions. We're kind of we're all over the map with how we think and feel and express all sorts of different views on our program, which is why I go under an alias so that none of it's traced back to me. I don't want to get canceled.
You have a life. This is a
Somewhat,
pretty good one, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. When you're a public persona nowadays and you're putting yourself out there, if someone doesn't agree with you, they can go after you. I mean, I have been gone after so many times.
Really?
It's absurd. I've gotten to the point where I've gotten death threats. I've gotten people who tried finding, quote, my address. And
What
it's
the
like,
fuck?
no, I have like 7 fake addresses, but thanks for trying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that hard to get your mail then?
No, not too hard because again, I'm so all over the place.
Yeah.
I also have like a virtual mailbox. So what's nice is I could just open it on my phone and I don't have to have an actual mailbox, which is also really nice.
That's awesome.
I don't think we need the mail. I heard an ad on the radio that was like, we need to save the mail. Like the U.S. mail is underfunded.
Save the clock tower!
Do we?
Honestly, we
need the mail.
do.
You
Yes.
think so?
For rural
Yeah,
people.
it's just in a lot of well, number one, it's just in a lot of areas, it's just the only way you can get mail out there.
Yeah.
Just UPS and FedEx is super expensive. And, from shipping stuff to different places, like FedEx and like UPS, I mean, we only had private services, Jesus freaking Christ, we'd paying out the wazoo.
Yeah, they
As
jack
opposed to,
the
like,
prices up, yeah. You'd be paying
Dude,
$11 to send like a birthday card. Your grandma sending it to you. It'd be $11 from Bismarck to Boise or some shit.
I tried sending like a package to Canada a few months ago, back when you could go into a post office.
Nice.
And I remember it cost like $40 via the U.S. Post Office, and through like FedEx or UPS, they gave me a quote of like $120.
Holy shit.
Yeah, see, I never send anything. I only receive things.
Yeah, you're like, I don't need this.
Yeah, basically. This doesn't affect me.
Well, it does
Not my
affect you.
problem.
Yes, it does, because do you buy shit?
Yes, delivered in a big blue truck from Amazon.
Then yes. So what's gonna happen is all that shit's you're paying for it one way or another. You are you're gonna end up paying more in cost prices because people are gonna have to raise the rates if they're gonna have to be forced to use UPS or FedEx or
DHL, baby.
Fuck DHL. It loses half your fucking packages.
They're
So
like,
does the
this is
post
so
office,
deficient.
though. Post office has no guarantee of your
But you're not paying extra money for that. That's like a free charge,
Fair enough. I'm wrong. You know what? My mind's been changed. Alice, you did it. You changed my opinion on something. I'm not inflexible. I'm growing today because of Alice Vaughn. I'm so glad she's on the program.
Yeah!
She changed one heart today and one mind.
He's going to go save the USPS.
I am.
He's going to march for it.
I'm gonna start paying extra postage for everything. One man campaign. That's my big issue now. I'm a huge proponent of USPS.
I mean, also bear in mind, like, they're the biggest drug mule in the United States, so
yeah,
do we really want to lose that? No.
True.
That's true. Man. Even though the anal cavity, as you said, is very flexible, we don't want to lose our drug mules, our most efficient service.
No, they're good. No. I ordered shrooms on the internet long time ago, and USPS delivered.
Are you serious?
So good. Yeah.
That's great.
What have I gotten through USPS? I've definitely gotten, I feel like, ecstasy I've gotten through USPS and pot.
Nice. You can't get that through Amazon or DHL, obviously. DHL would smoke all of it. They'd send you stems and seeds. Like, you're welcome. Fuck you, we're DHL.
Exactly.
Are they even around anymore?
Drug-sniffing drug-sniffing dogs just to keep the drugs.
That's right. Their drivers are dogs, too.
Probably.
They're not efficient.
That's why you can't get the packages most of the time.
No.
So I mean, if you give it to a fucking dog, it's not going to deliver it. Knows how to fetch, doesn't know how to deliver. Jesus.
It's a piece
Dogs
of shit.
can't fucking drive a truck.
Oh. They're like colorblind too. They can't stop with the lights. They just keep plowing through fuckers.
Yes, that's the one problem with dogs driving, is the lights. The signals. That's why they're not doing it.
They can't do it well. They just can't do it. Tell us about Offensive Crayons.
So it's one of the reasons I've been doxxed so often and frankly attacked by both the left and the right. Because it's totally normal to go after someone who manufactures crayons.
It is.
Who's better at doxing and attacking, the left or the right?
Oh, that's a great question. This is going to get me canceled, but the Jews are great at this. And considering, I'm part of the tribe, I'm going to give them some credit. Because here's the reason I say that. So I've been attacked multiple times, but it wasn't until December where someone decided to take a photo of my crayons and then just circle the gray crayon, which is a pretty bad crayon. Okay, so the crayon's called Auschwitz Ash.
Oh my God. Don't worry, we haven't lost Cambodia.
We've definitely lost Germany, though.
Yeah, Germany's lost.
Yeah.
Dungeon porn, criticizing them on that, and now this.
They're used to losing, though. It's fine.
So, but, okay, in my defense, isn't ash gray?
Yeah.
Is it light gray? It's a light gray, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Grandma would recognize it.
It's a light gray after it cools.
So, this past December, I had, and perfect timing, because it was right before Christmas, too, and, right around Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Someone decided to take a photo, circle that crayon, and bear in mind, they had a photo of all the different crayons. So, and they decided to post it and claim that I was being anti-Semitic. First off, 98% of the comments were laugh and love react comments because they got the joke. And if you also saw the comments, they were like, this person's not anti-Semitic. And they did me the biggest favor in the world by also posting a link to the website. So people were like, fuck yeah, I want these.
Nice. No such thing as bad publicity.
Right?
Yeah.
But
maybe there is.
3 things happened in that that instance. I had number 1, a woman who did this massive blog post about and decided to dox me. Didn't get my real address, so okay, cool. But she did decide to look me up and some of my past history and stuff, and she was like, not only is she anti-Semitic, she's also a skeptic, which, I mean, I'm part of a bunch of science groups, but unfortunately the word skeptic has been, like, conflated with, like, Alex Jones. So, they started calling me a white nationalist. I'm like, all right. So then I had some old guy from Australia, and I am not kidding when I say this. So this guy from Australia who's like 60 plus years old, because I found his LinkedIn page.
Yes.
And he's retired, because of course he is if you're going to be doing this.
If you're going to be on LinkedIn, you should totally be retired.
Well, no, I mean, if you're going to dox someone and go through and start doing their family tree, you should totally be retired.
Oh my God.
And so what he decided to do was I'm not joking when I say this, he found actually he found half of my family tree lineage, and he found like their records in in concentration camp records. He found their concentration camp records to confirm that enough people fucking died for that joke.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He did not use Bing.
No. I don't know what fucking, like, torrent shit he used.
What the fuck what job did he have before he became retired? I'm sure on his own volition, and not was retired by someone else for his antics.
Crazy.
That's some deep diving. Wow.
And then I had like half a dozen people who got me kicked off Shopify. And bear in mind, like, December, I got literally thousands of orders, but it only took like less than a dozen, like 6, to get me kicked off. That's it.
What the fuck? Fuck Shopify. Or unless you're in good standing with them now.
No.
Alright, fuck Shopify. Fuck them. Don't buy Shopify stuff. Yeah.
So this touches on something that Andy and I were talking about the other day, of like trying to quantify like offensiveness, right? Like, if something is offensive, some group finds something offensive, how many people need to find it offensive before some change needs to happen, right? If you tell a joke to 100 people and 2 people find it offensive, should you stop telling the joke? I don't think so. But is there a number that, like, if 50% aren't laughing, like, that's just bad for business. You're not going to tell that joke. But, like, if you tell that joke to 100 people and it's directed at people, like a group of 10 of them who are the example I use are purple, right? They're purple people. You tell a joke about the 10 purple people, 6 of them laugh, 4 of them don't, right? Now you have this smaller group. Like, is there a number of people, is there a percentage, or a percentage of the total population, or percentage of the offended group that needs to be offended before we must take an action?
Well, I'll tell you, as someone who's been on the receiving end, that here's the thing. In December, again, I got thousands of orders. I mean, I did exceptionally well in December. It's kind of fucking absurd. But here's the thing. I also got maybe 50 emails around that, somewhere between like 30 to 60 emails of just hate mail. Maybe more, maybe around that number. I'm purely fucking guessing at this point. It could have been up to 100 emails. Yeah. But even though I was doing so well, you don't hear from people saying, oh my God, I love your products, you're amazing. You see that and you kind of justify it with the numbers, but it's the people who have that vitriol and that hate. It's so easy to, that's why most people leave Yelp reviews. If you think about it, they either love it or they fucking hate it.
There's no like, hey, this is pretty good, man. Like, we got one small review that was like, hey, this is kind of good background noise. I'm like, I'll take it. 3 out of 5 stars. That's fine.
That's our best review.
No, we got some other ones. Noise. Okay, best background review. Noise. Yeah. It was my favorite because it was just like, I'm going to take the time to say, this wasn't bad. But like you're saying, Alice, like, that doesn't happen very often. Like, it's all like, oh, I hate this, I hate you. We had one piece of hate mail, and it was barely literate, of course. Because when you're, like, anger clicking, like, you're going to, like, spell shit wrong and not use proper grammar or make any sense at all. But whatever, fuck them. Fuck your haters. You're obviously doing something well because you're getting all these orders.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Again, I was doing well, but it does take a bit of a mental toll on you.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
That's the thing. You do try figuring out, like, am I doing the right thing? And you do eventually justify either you're doing the right thing or you're not doing the right thing. And sometimes it's right to reevaluate, because here's the thing, jokes do change and times do change. So yeah, it's fair to, take stuff out that just hasn't aged well anymore. That's fine. But at the same time, like, you also have to understand that, like, yeah, there will be those people who are active protesters who just, they get angry and, they're going to hate you or hate this joke no matter what you do or say. That's why I love Offensive Crayons so much, because the concept of it, I didn't expect it to become this, but I've learned so much. I mean, frankly, I've gotten hate on jokes I never fucking expected to get hate on.
You're like, this is pretty innocuous, and then you get like 25 emails about it. Like, why are these people doing this? Like, could you imagine, like, WKRP in Cincinnati getting hate mail today? Like, hating on comedy, man. Bullshit.
It's, if anything, kind of amazing. You just have to kind of just push forward.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes to cancel culture a little bit nowadays, which I know is kind of exploding on Twitter now. Yeah. Because, look, I get, the J.K. Rowlings of the world, the multi-billionaires can say fucking anything.
Of course.
And, you could be criticized, but most of the people who are getting canceled, and when it comes to, quote, cancel culture, they're average people, like writers. I mean, come on, what's a salary for a goddamn writer? It's low. It's not zero, but it's fucking
not zero.
Low.
Yeah, sometimes it's zero. It's low.
And like,
it's low.
For comedians, it's like, oh, let's cancel like Shane Gillis over a joke we don't like.
Yeah.
All right, well, how much is Shane Gillis worth? It's definitely not. He's not a multi-billionaire. What the fuck, guys?
Do you think if he wasn't maybe on the bubble to have gotten on in the first place, like if he was like a slam dunk, they would have covered that up or something?
No.
Yeah, you're right. That's the first time anyone's mentioned his name in like since that happened. Shout out. I
mean, look, the Amy Coopers of the world. I mean, here's the thing. And by the way, I will never fucking trust another viral video because, so I feel like when that video came out, you guys know the video I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. The guy.
Woman and the dog.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. They were both fucking assholes
in
that situation.
Why are you filming all this stuff? Tell her to fuck. If you want to tell her to, like, move, tell her move. She doesn't, like, well, you're a fucking asshole and just keep walking.
Well, not only that, but, like, by the way, the only reason we know to lead up to that story is because the guy decided to brag about it on his Facebook.
Yeah. Otherwise, it just looks like a solely a racial incident.
Yeah, because he comes up to her, like,
aggressively.
With dog treats, and he doesn't have a goddamn dog.
No,
okay,
that's so creepy.
I live in New York. I have a dog. I don't carry goddamn dog treats. That's not normal.
No, they could have been poisoned.
So, look, they were both assholes.
Yeah.
Both totally in the wrong. But, like, he's not the one getting, hey, she is. Where it's like, they're both terrible people.
They're both, like, I think it was like 60-40, but he was triggering her, and then what's not talked about is her mental health situation. Obviously, if you're, like, of sound mind, you don't react that way. You're like, get the fuck away from my dog, and then that's it, ideally. But no, you're like, I'm gonna call the police, I'm calling him right now, a black person, blah, blah. Like, she was insane.
Yeah.
So don't stop poking the bear. Like, why are you being a narc anyways? Do you own the park? It's somebody walking the dog is gonna take a shit. Okay, the dog's gonna take a shit. She'll probably pick it up. Maybe there'll be some footprints, but you could be like, just walk and mind your business.
I will say this, though, that most people haven't experienced a New York City crazy person, and they are slightly different than your regular caliber crazy person, and it's really unfortunate because a lot of these people, I'm sure, have mental health issues.
Yeah.
But I'm not kidding when I say that, okay, so living in New York for the last several years, before I got my dog, I was attacked once on the subway. It was a subway fight like 5-6 years ago.
Holy shit.
But since I've had my dog, I've been almost attacked 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
And it's because what happens often is, like, sometimes dogs, like in my case, my dog doesn't respond well to erratic behavior. So when people are, for example, walking aggressively around on the street and yelling at themselves, he'll start barking at them. They don't like that.
No.
So you'll have people who follow you, and then you get very nervous. And some of those people, one of those incidents out of those 3 that I mentioned was in Central Park. So, I mean, I can almost understand wanting to call someone, because again, I don't know how long they were filming and whatnot. So we don't know what the lead up is. You know, again, they're both assholes in the situation.
Yeah, double assholes.
But yeah, it's just, stuff happens. And all right, so let's get off Amy Cooper.
New York crazy and LA crazy is probably a little different, somewhat similar. As I got punched on a bus by a girl that looked like Precious when I lived in LA. That was awesome. I had a black eye for like a week.
What'd you do?
I was laughing really hard at something the bus driver said to her, because she was like, "When's this bus gonna move?" And the bus driver was like, "Man, you ain't got nowhere to go." And everyone on the bus starts laughing at her. But I was like slightly drunk at the time, and so my normal annoying laugh was just like amplified. And then she's like zoomed in on me, like, man. And she's on the phone with her mom a little bit later. She's like, "Yeah, about to beat this white boy's ass." I was like, "Oh God, I'm that white boy." I looked around and was like, "That's me. I'm the only white boy on this bus." And like, I had a Razor phone. This is 2010. And so I'm texting like this girl I was seeing, like, "You'll never believe what's going on," kind of shit. But so she knew I was texting about that, right? She comes up to my phone and smacks the shit out of it, and it breaks in 2 pieces. And I was like, I can't afford another phone, is what my thought was. Not, this person's crazy, I should totally avoid this person. But I go get part of my phone, and then I look for the other part of my phone, and it was under her seat. And I was like, oh shit, that sobered me up real quick too. So I go in, I'm kind of like, excuse me, I just need to get my phone. If I could only get my phone. And then she just goes, boom, 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 boom. Rain and blows upon me twice, because I went back in the second time, like, covered up and grabbed it. But I had a black eye for a week, and a great story.
What a horrible person.
She was awful. And someone was like, "Hey, are you going to press charges, like, and get $12 and a bus pass off her?" Why? Fuck that shit. I'm not going to press charges on, ruin her life. You know, like, this is the worst. And yeah, I saw a guy blow snot rockets on an immigrant. He was like, probably had schizophrenia or something. But he started talking about Darth Vader and shit. And the Death Star, and he was talking about specifics on the Death Star. It was weird, man. And I like dodged the snot rocket on my seat. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have. I mean, I was living in Richmond for a while. And we had, you know, people on the streets and stuff, and the one thing we saw often was people just sunning their penis, just getting a little air on it, just getting a little sunlight.
Not their perineum, but their penises.
Down an alley, and they weren't peeing; they just were holding it out on their hand, and it's just there.
Giving it a nice tan.
Yeah,
damn,
I mean, I don't know if he was twisting it to get the other side.
That's a good idea, man. Was it
happened 3
hard?
times, and it wasn't the same guy. It was 3 times.
3 different guys,
men
3 different
just
dicks.
sunning their penises. Yeah, maybe that's the secret. I don't know.
Maybe
Long
you just
life
have to
while
air
homeless.
it out once in a while.
Yeah, you gotta air
they
that
do.
shit out. They don't shower
they get-
much, so
They get cramped in there. Yeah,
It
that's
does
true.
get
They don't
cramped.
shower. Maybe it's just letting the sun bake some of the grime off. You know how sometimes
Sunlight
it's
is
like,
the best disinfectant, they
it
say.
is visceral,
Yeah,
man.
literally.
That's some visceral shit.
yeah, I mean, sometimes you get like mud on the driveway, and like you just wait for it to dry, and you can just sweep it off. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the same sort of thing.
It gets
They're just,
caked
you know,
on, and you're like, beep, 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 beep,
Yeah,
and it's off.
Maybe that's what it was. Well, we solved that.
We solved
That's
the
2 big
crisis.
things in my life. 2 mysteries. One mystery and one change of heart on the post office today. So this has been a productive episode.
Who's your favorite guest that you ever had on your podcast?
Oh, man. I don't have one favorite. I have a couple.
Oh, okay. That works.
So, like, we had Justin Lee Miller on, and I was cracking up. I was also fairly drunk on that episode. He's a sex and porn researcher. He's fantastic. So I learned a lot there. Let's see. I really loved having Tom Arnold on way back in the day. It's kind of, I feel like I'm due for another Tom Arnold episode. And then, Let's see, who else has been good? Alex Falcone. I know he's like a no-name comedian, and that's insulting because he's a friend of mine. But he was so fucking funny. It was me and Natalia, our guest co-host. We were reviewing Napoleon Dynamite. And he was just so wholesome and great. And that's the thing. We've had such fun porn stars and people from within the industry join us. We've had directors like Leroy Miller and Eli Cross to porn stars like we've had fucking Tommy Pistol on, and like tonight's episode we're having like Sovereign Sire. She was reviewing like the Sex Files with us.
Nice.
And we had Buck Angel on. But I feel like what's so great about this show is that whenever we have a guest on, which like 90% of the time I love them, I feel like they become part of our squad, and we message them. And whenever I used to go out to LA to work with Yvette or do like a couple radio shows, I would be able to just hit them up and hang, which, I mean, how frequently... I mean, first off, I feel like I never get to do that, well, now in a post-COVID world.
Yeah.
But it's great that I could just message people and be like, hey, you want to hang out? Do you want to get drinks? And they just become friends. Kate Kennedy became a great friend of mine because of the show. And God, I mean, I love the people in the industry just because they're so down to earth and normal. And what's great is they're outgoing and they're fucking entrepreneurs. And the people who are doing well in this industry, they are killing it.
Damn.
Like, they make... I have a work ethic and they have a work ethic, because to do well as a porn star nowadays, you're not just shooting porn, you're doing porn, you're camming, you're doing individual clips that you're selling. You have a merch, you're managing a Twitter account, you're managing your Sext Panther account, or you have an assistant managing that.
What's Sext Panther?
It's where
Sext
you
or
text
sex?
people.
Sext Panther?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm. And
Writing
they get
it
paid, and
down.
some of them paid like their whole rent from just sexting people.
But they have to be someone famous. Do they have ghostwriters?
Yeah, some of them do.
Oh,
some of them use fake photos because they'll pay off a model to use their photo. Yeah.
That's genius.
Right.
Multiple streams of revenue, Andy. I think we just found a way to break in.
Yeah, we got hit up by a possibly fake influencer email, like become an influencer, and I was like, our last episode was actually Degenerate Pyramid Scheme, and actually like this thing, the Luther just decided to talk about that it was in fact a pyramid scheme itself. So it was a great timing for a great offer for me to become an influencer. I don't buy things, I don't use things, I don't go anywhere because of COVID. Going anywhere. The first two things are just my own preference, but like. Should I do it?
Yes, you should definitely do influencing. Why not?
Influencing and sexting, sex panthering.
You know what? I think we just found your next career.
First career, really.
Yeah, really.
I've had gigs. I worked with kids, and now I don't. It's a thing.
Well, our favorite guest, since you were going to ask, so far has been Alice Vaughn, I think.
Yes, easily. We're going to have to get more guests so that can be even more authentic of a statement. So we can be like, yeah, you were all right, but you were no Alice Vaughn. Like, they're like, what the fuck, man? I'm promoting my shit, and you're telling me I'm like fourth place or whatever. Like, yeah, well, we're honest here.
Yeah, we are.
You're first.
Yeah.
Well, I do appreciate that. I have to say, though, sometimes you'll get a big name on and you'll be like, they were fucking terrible. I can't wait to edit that in post.
Oh, man. Yeah, maybe that's why we haven't had guests, because we're afraid to edit so much.
Only if we really went like, oh, we went too far there. Let's edit just that one thing out where I said that one word. Let's just remove that. That happened like, what, 3 times? That's
3 times. The very second episode ever it happened. Joe was on ketamine and he decided to just mumble about shit. And I was like, I don't think you can say that, man. So I'm like, skirp. I edited it honestly, it was like a year later, and then I posted it as the first and second episodes. But the first episode, he wasn't on so much ketamine, so he was still awake. But by midway through the second one, I'm like shaking him for him to stay awake because I needed this. I was like, I need this. I had just broken up with somebody, and I'm like, I need an outlet. Let's do this podcast. I flew to LA so we could like get crazy and then do this, but we're not doing this because you're falling asleep on fucking ketamine. So I'm like, hey, Joe, and he's like, me. I was like, oh, I have to bleep that out. So I've done it a little bit, but not 16 hours or anything like that of editing or anything
impressive.
like that. Yeah.
It's insane. That's why I hired an amazing editor. I'm not joking when I say I literally interviewed 60 different people.
Holy shit.
For the editing job. Yeah, because I'm that much of a fucking control freak. I got down to 2, and then there was this one guy who, my current editor, Kane, he's amazing. We did this challenge. We called it the Nina Hartley challenge.
Okay.
Because when we got to like 10, 15 people who sounded good over the phone, like price-wise and overall their skill set, you kind of want to test people somehow. And we had this one episode we recorded with Nina Hartley. Bless her soul. She's a fucking amazing woman. She's a porn legend. We were using like an old system at the time, and it took us like 45 minutes to set her up. It was fucking horrible. Bless her heart that she stayed on with us for that long. She's a saint. But what happened was like her audio, she wasn't wearing headphones, so we had all of our voice on the background. So it literally took us 3 weeks to edit before we released that episode because we had to edit all of us from the background out. It was hard. So we basically like started sending like, hey, here's like the first 5 minutes. Edit that. Show me what you have. And this one guy was able to make it sound like radio quality.
Wow.
And I was like,
that's awesome. Yeah, he is the one.
Right? Wow. So yeah, precisionpodcasting.com. Kane is an amazing editor. He does so much fantastic work. I can't say enough. He's now been with us for close to 2 years.
Nice.
So it's kind of also insane because he was like, yeah, I was editing like entrepreneurship podcasts and, yes, let's do porn and sex. This is different.
He's talking about marketing strategies for like marketing podcasts, and now he's doing porn, and it's like best decision ever. Do you guys go with Patreon?
Yeah, we have a Patreon, and on our Patreon, our patrons get not only video content that they could watch of the episodes, which sometimes we cut stuff out. Let's see. We also do exclusive episodes. So there's like at least 20 exclusive like pre or post show chats.
Yeah.
Where they're like 20 to 30 minutes long, but they're a lot of fun. So
nice.
We have like Sunny Megatron, Kevin Allison, just a bunch of different people on there. Let's see, what else do we have? Sometimes like I ask questions and be like, hey, we're having this person on. And we send merch out to our fellow listeners. Oh my God, though. But sometimes we'll post stuff where we're like, okay, we can only give this to our patrons.
Yeah.
So aside from doing like chats and things like that, we had this one guest on where for the main show, we had to edit it down by a solid like half hour.
Oh, wow.
Because with the additional half hour, we basically screamed at a porn star and made her cry.
What? You were screaming at her?
I wasn't. My co-host was, Yvette was.
What about?
So it was a couple months back, like a month into lockdown, and it's the Lauren Phillips episodes. Like, I won't even hide it.
Yeah. So
the Lauren Phillips episode, she comes on, and we somehow get onto the topic of COVID. Well, because we do. It was, quarantine time.
Exactly.
And she's like, well, I don't really see it as a big deal. I mean, as far as social, I don't really see a point in social distancing. And what's fucking ironic is she explains later in the episode how neurotic she is when it comes to like cleaning the seat in an airplane because she doesn't want airplane germs. It's
but she'll have like all sorts of other things going on.
You think you're trying to protect yourself from all of the airline germs you were prepping for?
My God.
And did you eventually get through to her and change her mind, and that's why she had a breakdown and was crying, like you got through to me earlier about the post office?
No, I think we just made her feel stupid.
You just berated her. Okay, good. That's
she
great.
probably does that on set, though. You know, she's probably what an actress is.
What was really funny is, so her agent called me up and was like so angry. And here's the thing: we did apologize for making her cry. We don't apologize for the reason why, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because she was fucking wrong. But it's true. And so what ends up happening is that she calls me like a week later, right before the episode drops, a day before the episode drops, and she's like, I don't want you airing it. And I'm like, no, we're putting it out there.
Yeah. Awesome.
We edited this part out. You sound good, but our patrons get everything.
That's awesome.
So, patreon.com/2girls1mic.
Yes,
Lauren Phillips cut.
That is a plug right there. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I might have to become a patron.
When did you start the podcast?
September of 2018.
Nice.
And here's the thing: we started way too soon. So, what I mean by that is, so my co-host and I had an idea, and then 11 days later, we had a podcast.
Nice.
No, not nice, because
we didn't even wait 11 days.
No,
we had an idea.
Yeah, I flew to LA and I brought my microphone with me that I had bought from like previously, like trying to do a podcast, and we got derailed by us drinking 40s back when I still partied, and was just like, bam, let's do it. And then I grabbed it and I was like, I didn't even post it. I didn't know how to do any of the other stuff. I just had this shit on my old computer for a while, and then I started posting them together, and like it just came together. But so it sounds like you guys just like, fuck it, you just went after it.
Well,
it
let's
kind of happened that way
differentiate.
because sorry.
I was gonna say, let's differentiate between our podcast and their podcast, Andy.
Yeah.
There's a reason that she makes money and we don't. You know, there's a reason that her things are better. Like, we don't edit. Maybe we should.
Yeah.
Maybe we, could do these things. But again, we go quantity over quality. And it's just really just two guys screaming out into the void.
This is raw.
But we reach
raw
someone
feelings.
in that void.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'll be honest. I found you guys through Aubrey because I was like, it's time for some self-promotion. Let's see who has over 500 downloads an episode.
Woo woo.
So
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a trick to that. See, we got
Is it called lying?
No.
That's factual. But we had one podcast called Pokemon Go that shot up, that dwarfs all other podcast downloads we've ever done.
That's how we found Wendy, though. Actually.
What's that?
That's how we found Wendy. Is Wendy found us?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It was the one episode of, what is this, 220 something?
226.
Yeah, 226. That was the one that really raises the average for all of the others.
Yeah, it still averages well, but like it did certainly spike it. But like no show's gonna have the exact same number of listeners to each one. Otherwise, people wouldn't get like stunt casting. Like, look at this guest and like look at this shit. And, like, I got this and I'm showing my naked body on this one. Like anything.
Well, I mean, I'm naked right now. I mean, you guys can't see.
Yeah, the listeners can't see, but I'm watching him naked.
I'm not wearing pants.
Yeah, fuck pants. It's COVID era.
Anyone?
Yeah, we can't see anyways. It's like cuts off at the shoulders. So no pants on any of us is a secret. But yeah, you found us on a networking site, which is cool.
So here's the question. Why do you think the Pokemon Go episode was so popular? Do you think it's SEO or how do you
100%.
think that got trending?
It was 100% the SEO because we talked about Pokemon Go for a few minutes and then we got into some bullshit. And we got a significant spike that lasted quite a while. But, I mean, I'd probably be like Mr. Daddy Warbucks if I had started podcasting every day from that point on, because I think we would have kept a fair amount of the audience, you know? So it's just like when you feel yourself getting hot, you gotta like keep hammering, because I mean I did not. Like I was relying on my partner. I didn't have multiple partners. It wasn't Luther Danger at the time. I mean he was. Were you even working on it yet, Danger?
Yeah. I was.
Yeah.
I was doing like once a month, and then you had Will doing more often, and now I'm twice a week.
Yeah, Will got tired of talking about his dating life, and then he's like, I'm starting to feel bad. I can't do this anymore. And I was like, well, okay, I accept your resignation. However, people don't want to hear about your pathetic dating life anyways. Like, that wasn't why they listened.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. They just wanted some noise in the background while they're, whatever that one guy was doing, the 3 out of 5 star review guy, you know?
Yeah, it's okay for background
It's fine for background noise. One guy actually, or I'm assuming this is a guy, but he goes hunting. This is what it's in the review from like 2017 or something. He's like, I use this, listen to you guys when I go hunting. I was like, what the fuck? That's great. I don't even like hunting.
Makes him want to kill something beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, sometimes you don't want to know, but it's like, all right, that's a listener. We support you. Thanks for supporting us. Be a Patreon. So we got a Patreon thing. I'm just getting into that, learning how to work the system and stuff. But slow gains for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. Like anything else, you kind of just got to keep hammering through it.
Yeah.
With our Patrons, I think I'm actually going to change one of the levels from a t-shirt level to a ball gag face mask level.
Yes. I saw that it's on your, what site is that again?
Oh, so it was on Twitter and Facebook, but Facebook actually, if you can't, I think, share the post anymore, or if you do, that you can get a 24-hour block on Facebook.
What?
Wow. Really cracking
we have
down.
A number of people who actually messaged me and they were like, yeah, I got a 30-day ban because of your face mask.
Wow. Nice. That's part of the advertising now. Yeah. Like, so good, it'll get you banned.
Sorry I made your life better for 30 days. Then you didn't have to go on that and see what someone from high school that bullied you is doing.
It's still on Twitter though. It was getting like really hot on Reddit. Like I think it had like 1,000 or 2,000 upvotes on Our Funny, and then Our Funny they'll do. They not only deleted the thread, they took out actually the photo out of Our Funny and deleted that, but they went the extra mile, the moderators this time, because I've had shit deleted off Our Funny before on Reddit, and they deleted every single comment under the photo.
What?
Wow. Do they consider it advertising? Breaking Rule 1 or something?
I wasn't advertising. They were just like, it's inappropriate.
But you can have a Splinter Cell developed there, but no funny stuff.
You know also what's been banned off Our Funny? Me in a Christmas sweater from Pornhub.
What?
Fully clothed.
Why? Is it advertising Pornhub? Because having a penis or a vagina advertises Pornhub. Like you just want to go to it.
Right?
It's the best one.
Because it just says Pornhub, and but it's like great because the Christmas sweaters have like frosty snowmen with erections,
That sounds great.
And little handcuffs on it. It's so cute.
That is cute.
Like it got like one of the posts got like I think 30,000 upvotes in an hour, and then was like pulled.
What? Damn.
Fun. Well, at least those people saw it. All the people who actually click upvote and all the lurkers who don't and just see things. People saw it. Doesn't need to be there
being a lurker is great.
Yeah, that's all I ever do on Reddit. I just lurk.
I lurk on a basketball, football like fan website thing, and then I've gone on Reddit once in a while to post our weekly episode, but like it's a weird place, man. I don't want that shit tracked.
You can go to some dark corners.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I'm. It's weird that it got posted or it got taken down. I guess it was just on Funny, but not on like watch people die or something.
Is that a real one?
That was a real one, yeah.
It was. It got taken down recently, but there's other ones like it.
Are there like 4 moderators for the whole place? Because how do you even get that on for more than an hour? Watch people die.
I don't know. You just sign up and do it, and then eventually people get angry and people stop.
Arbitrary morality is enforced. Who wants to watch snuff films? I don't want to watch that shit.
Yeah.
God.
That's what it's got on there.
I couldn't even handle 8mm. Schumacher film. Our rest in peace, Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Batman and why?
Never thought about this.
That's okay. You don't have to answer that.
I don't have one. It's like Christian Bale because he's the only one I've really watched.
Yeah, that's what I say too. Luther is more of a animated one.
Yeah, we've covered that in depth on other podcasts. That's the type of material we typically have, not the enlightening wisdom of Alice Vaughn.
We get Wendy's twisted mind, yeah. Wendy's twisted mind, but it does, we're going above and beyond tonight.
Yeah, well, we plan on riding your coattails all the way to the top.
Straight to the top.
And crashing down once people go through the backlog and know what we're actually about.
Where can they find your podcast?
It's going to spike for us. We're going to be like, this was great. And then they're going to hear another one. It's like, I'm never again. What was Alice Vaughn thinking?
They're going to use this podcast to cancel me.
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Yeah. You're going to have to teach after all.
Two things I've already said. I said that the Jews are great at doxing people.
Yes. We won't call this Jew dox, I promise. We already have a doxing-related episode, so we won't double down.
And then I said, someone's going to be like, Alice Vaughn said hashtag Amy Cooper did nothing wrong.
Hashtag free Amy Cooper or something like that. Yeah. Oh my god.
Uncancel her.
Team Amy.
Leave Amy alone. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. For those two reasons, they're gonna be like, "Fuck her."
Yeah, she's the worst.
I hope that happens because that means people listen, and that would be great.
For us.
Instead of just screaming into the void like we've been. How many episodes have we called just yelling into the void? There's like
couple.
5 of them.
If you Google Void and Degenerate Nation, there's at least a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know how people find us because our SEO, it's just a regular Buzzsprout tags. We tag it with hip shit, but it's like, who knows? You never know what's going to...
Hip shit. That's great. Yeah. Speaking of how people can get a hold of us, now that we have the vast listening audience of Alice Vaughn tuning in for this one episode just to see what we're about, we should tell the people how they can get a hold of us. And you can come on our program just like Alice Vaughn. You could change my mind about something because my opinions don't hold firm. I'm wishy-washy about everything.
Exactly.
You can convince me in a matter of minutes.
He's a malleable man, and you can find us at degeneratenation@gmail.com if you want to shoot an email to request being on the show, or having a piece of yours read, or you want to give us some hate mail or whatever, a recipe for edible underwear. I don't know. You can find us Degenerate Nation Podcast on Facebook or Degenerate Nation on Podcast, and Degenerate Show is the Twitter. I promise I'll start tweeting more often if you send us a message. And we're available on Spotify, Pandora, and Apple, along as other places now. Yeah, we just got approved by Pandora, dude.
Oh,
I'm still waiting for it to actually go through because it got sent to my junk mail for some reason.
There you go.
Yeah, but whatever. We're going to be on Pandora. No big deal. Just with some of the greats.
Yeah. You know what? We should start saying that we have an editor or an assistant to just kind of give us a little bit of I don't know, bravitas or something.
Gravitas. Do you think that helps, Alice? To have someone that you can say is your diminutive?
I mean, you guys could hire an assistant in the Philippines for $3 an hour.
Oh my god. Do you have one?
I used to.
Was it cool?
In the Philippines?
Yeah. And I would
$3 an hour?
Yeah,
I'm okay with
I would
that.
give bonuses and additional compensation because $3 an hour for here, it's $15, $16 there. It's almost a living wage.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would pay way more than that to my previous assistants. And it was great because I had jobs where I worked for myself, ran my own business.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need these clients scheduled and I don't have the goddamn time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, okay, here's a script. Here's what you need to do. Here's how to use Google Maps. Here's all this stuff that I need you. Yeah. And I would train them. And then what's nice is then once they'd be up and running, they would just work. And what's great is a lot of them are just, because there's a ton of call centers in the Philippines, the accent, I mean, if you listen to most call centers nowadays, you'll notice that the accent is not an Indian, but it is Asian. It's because it's from the Philippines.
Nice.
There's a ton of call centers there, and a lot of them are working from like 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. because for them, that's our 9 to 5 essentially.
Yeah. Oh wow. My experience with the Philippines has been pretty good, I guess. I was a delivery driver, and the dispatcher, one of them they were both from Philippines. One of them was a trans person, and they had the hots for me because there was like a company advertisement that I appeared for in some like visual ad, and they're like, I love this person. They kept like calling me sweetie and stuff when I would get the orders, like, here's your order for there, pick this up at Ruby Tuesdays, sweetie. I'm like, okay, that was cool, it's fine. And then we had a neighbor growing up, and they actually had a indentured servant from the Philippines, and my mom helped set her free.
Wow.
True story.
Well,
she hid out in our garage and would get cigarettes, and like would like smoke cigarettes in our garage. And then like one day, like she called her cousin, and the cousin just came and picked her up. And she's like, because they had like her papers and everything. It was fucked up.
Oh man, well,
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to get out of that situation.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Did you just say I've had pretty good experiences with the Philippines, and those were your two experiences?
The first one was a fucking good experience.
That's what you're
Oh my
basing
God.
an entire
Hey.
population on? Like, yeah, I do too. One was a slave, and one was, a trans dispatcher. Like, those are your two, like, overall, I like them. We get along well.
Yeah, they were good people. God damn it!
That's great.
Hysterical. That's amazing.
Somebody cut me off. Alice, where can they find your the podcast to stream it at?
Guys, you could find my podcast everywhere and anywhere you listen to podcasts. So Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, etc. Two Girls One Mic, the porncast, and Two Girls One Mic. When you type it in, you will see white background microphone with a little pink bra. That's us, because unfortunately, since we started the show, there's other Two Girls One Mic, so spell it out. If you're still not sure, just go to twogirlsonemic.com, and you can find me, Alice, at Rational Blonde on the Twitters, but you can also find the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TGOM Podcast.
Ooh, Luther, that's how you do a plug right there. We need to get better at that.
That's good. I gotta write it down on a post-it note so I don't screw it up
every time I let Luther or Wendy do the email, they fuck it up, the whole thing. And then when I did it tonight, I fucked it up.
Yeah, well, I started doing it because you fuck it up. But it doesn't matter.
It's all right. No one cares.
Except for Alice Vaughn. Have I mentioned Alice Vaughn?
Yeah. This is like...
Oh, and then I forgot to plug the crayons.
Yes.
OffensiveCrayons.com. Guys, go there, buy crayons. There's also, you could just click our podcast on OffensiveCrayons.com.
Nice. Cross-promotion. Yeah.
Right? I'm desperate.
Oh, well, you're here, so...
Obviously. Yeah.
Standards.
Yeah, who else said no before you reached out to us? How far down the line are we? Like, was Mark Maron, like, not a chance, and you just went all the way down the line to us? Yeah, I can tell by her face she's not responding that she must have sent 30, 50
That's amazing.
emails.
No, she didn't send him. The Filipinas did.
That's right.
My indentured servant from the Philippines.
That's great.
Oh my
God.
God.
And as soon as he got the email, he called me and he's like, dude, we got a real email. And it's from a real person. And check this out, she's awesome. And I was like, what? No, this can't be
It's not
real.
a person.
Is she from
She's a Namibian person. An amphibian Namibian.
Why can't I say the country?
You've never been... You're American. You never have to. You never will have to again.
I can't sound it out either.
Namibia. Namibian, Namibia, Namibian, Namibia, Namibian,
Now you're just
Namibia,
mocking
Namibian.
me.
Yeah, I
Yes,
kind of
yes,
am.
we are.
Yeah, we must have been super low. We'll have to contact. How can we get a hold of your indentured servant? We need to know.
I don't even know how to go about getting a Filipino assistant.
Upwork.com.
Oh, I was on
There
that
you
site.
go. She's cluing us in on everything.
I'm already on there. I have a
Tell you all
password.
my trade secrets.
I have a password for there and everything. It's cool. We're gonna do it. Luther, we gotta do this. We need to start becoming guests on shows. Is it fun to be guests on other shows usually?
I haven't been on too many shows, but I have to say that a lot of people are too scripted or ask the same fucking questions. I like you guys. You guys go on tangents, and I have to say that seriously though, I've been on so many where I feel like, oh God, we're fucking talking about the crayons, or oh my God, like I was recently on this show on a network, and I wanted to fucking kill myself because I was on my friend's show who he wanted to talk about the crayons. Okay, cool. But then, and I'm not kidding when I say this, he decided to kind of go too far. So he actually like kind of hired someone to do voice impressions of 3 different presidents. And he didn't tell me this until like 5 minutes before the show.
What?
That he was like, oh, make sure you have colors for Trump, Bill Clinton, and Bush. And I'm like, what? And he has this guy pretend to be all 3 at different parts of the show for like 3 to 5 minutes.
He paid somebody to do it?
No, he probably just bribed his friend.
On Upwork?
No, just
Were they
was
Filipino?
playing our poor shitty comic. But
Yeah.
was like, hey, we need you to pretend to be like Bill Clinton and ask her about her crayons and like make crayon suggestions. And you can, like, if someone finds that episode and show and listens to it, they're like, Alice is getting fucking fed up. You could kind of even tell it in my face.
Yeah, that's awful. Like,
You
Jesus.
guys are awesome, though.
Thanks, you're fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, you're officially part of the Degenerate Nation family since, we've only had 2 guests. And you're ranked number 1. You're welcome back anytime.
Number 1 guest in all of Philippines. That's right.
I'm very glad to be adopted into your family.
Thank
so
you.
you could say your stepsister.
Yeah.
Next with you.
Nope.
Well, he's impotent, so
Woohoo!
it's not an issue.
Full circle.
Full circle it goes. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys. This is great.
Yes. Go to those sites immediately. And ours too, maybe. Okay. Brr.